Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends. And welcome to this, a brand new day. Yes, indeed. It is very, very foggy outside. Hokey smokes. It's almost 8:30 now. Slow day for me. Good thing it's a weekend. But it was 7:30 before it got light outside. It's just been foggy. It's like Silent Hill out there through this window. Thumbs up. Past that, it's a moderately good day. It was cold and chill last night, which cold and chill, same things, but it was cold last night. The stars were out, which, no cloud cover, but still, it was nice, and it's nice now. It's just foggy. Thumbs up for that. No, I gotta stop saying that. Yay. I say that way too much. If you watch my reaction videos, I am trying hard to not say that as often. And hey, YouTube algorithms, front loading of videos. If you could toss me a like, that would be very cool. If you like what you see in here, and if you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't, that would be very cool. I love comments. I thumbs up each one I read, and I answer as many as my executive dysfunction will allow. Thumbs up for that. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These beautiful and awesome people are literally beautiful and awesome. They help to keep me alive, to keep my pets alive, and that is greatly appreciated. I like eating, and I know my pets enjoy eating as well. That is a very good thing. Thank you, each and every one of these beautiful and awesome people. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Yay! Front loading of videos over. But yeah, it was nice on walkies. It was a good walk. I wandered everywhere as I do. I had to do some extra walking because I forgot some things and had to double back. But still, that's good. I mean, you need to walk. You need to do X amount of vigorous exercise per week. If you can't do vigorous, it's a larger amount of moderate exercise per week. And if you can't do that, it's a even larger amount of mild exercise every week. For moderate exercise, you're supposed to get at a bare minimum like 2.5 hours, every week. I feel bad if I don't get 2 hours of moderate exercise every day. I go out walkies 5 miles, between 5 and 6 miles every single day, and it's good. I feel bad if I can't get out. I feel very antsy, don't feel good about it at all. So yay, exercise is good. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Oh, I keep saying that and I am so sorry. Ugh. Now, one thing that I do want to talk about real quick. Yeah, I've been playing a ton of the game Dead Island, even though I've got Dying Light waiting for me, and that's a great game. I've enjoyed watching my housemate play it quite a bit. I mean, my feet were curled up inside of my shoes. Oh my god, video game heights I can handle real life heights. Video game heights make me so nervous, and my feet were curling up tight inside of my shoes watching him play that. So, but I'm still playing Dead Island, and I remember when I played it the last time, I remember broad strokes only. I don't remember details. Yay, ADHD. But one thing I do remember is, for whatever reason, I decided I was going to become the kick guy, and my main attack was the kick. And I didn't understand a whole bunch of the nuances of combat and how you can do various things, and so now it is a lot easier. It is a lot easier to play, and I'm still the kick person. I'm playing the person who is a throwing expert. They just throw stuff, and boy, that really helps. You can take out the things that used to just knock me down and kill me. They don't even stand a chance, and it's from a distance. I use my throwing weapons so rarely. When zombies are running at me, I run at them and then I kick them, and then I kick them to pieces. I get into crowds of zombies and I start kicking them. I kick them all down, and then I keep kicking them while they're down to keep them down until they're all just broken apart and smashed. I am the kick master. They get close to me, they're down. I take out crowds, and it's amazing what you can do and how silly it gets. So one of the things that I want to do to record, and this one's going to be fun, because while it plays nicely on my machine at, a lot of frames per second, I don't know the number, but it's running at 1920 by 1080 and it looks good and it's nice. But if I record that, it ain't gonna look that way, because when I recorded Minecraft, it's playing just, it says, good 60 frames per second. It's recording it in the corner and it's playing smooth as butter. But the actual recording that I get is nowhere near that. It's always choppy. So you do what you can. Yay. So I'm gonna have to, if I record from this, I'm gonna have to bump down the textures and all that. I'm gonna have to bring down the resolution. But I want to show what it's been like doing all this, being just because you're supposed to do all these things. You're supposed to throw and juke and dance, and I just get myself hooked behind something, and then I just wait for them to run up to me, and then I kick them to death. And it is funny and fun at the same time. It's quite enjoyable. Definitely a thumbs up, and I just wanted to mention that. It's a good thing. One of the things that I do, well, I'm going to talk about going out walkies first, because still it is very, very good, and there is still so much that is just, I need to get my camera out again so I can show the things that are out there, and I need to get another card reader because I still haven't found my card reader, and maybe when I clean up my bookshelves I'll be able to find my card reader. Probably not. Who knows? Maybe. It'd be nice, because there are videos that I want to take when I'm out walkies, because there is stuff to show. I can't remember if I mentioned this one, how the dirt cheap. We've got this shop that I really want to show, how the guy put the fencing all around his shop, and he was out just yelling and cursing at people, and he's just a psycho. I want to show that place. I want to show all these things. We have good, nice things in town I want to record and show, and then of course there's the always more abandoned shop places. Not abandoned, just places gone. Yay. But past that, still just existing. One of the things that I just remembered and I did want to talk about before, one of the local cannabis shops is moving. I've got a cannabis shop within mile, 2 miles? Is it like 2 miles? It's like 2 miles from where I live. There's a cannabis shop and it's moving. So I won't be having a cannabis shop in reach anymore. And they say, oh, there's going to be another place coming in that's a cannabis shop and taking over here. I was like, well, change is never good, and especially in a world of increasing prices, they're not going to have the things that this shop has. Prices are going to be different. Everything's going to change. It's probably going to be more expensive. Change is never good. Yay. But one of the things that I do to try and keep myself distracted from reality is I do all of my creative stuff. When I can't deal with things, like when I'm out walking, if I can't deal with it, as in if I sit and stew over it, there's nothing I can do until Monday, but to make phone calls, so sitting and stewing isn't going to help. So I distract myself by working on my creative stuff. Now, one of the things that I've been really working a lot with on the whole concept of I have mentioned that there is a lot more there on the inside and on the razor's edge, and that's effectively when you go traveling. If you do not use the glamours to travel and you're just heading out into outward, you are going to have a very strange experience. When you leave the areas that are stabilized by the stabilizing effect of the quantum knotting of intelligence, that has the stabilizing effect. So like in an area of a town, Tenasket Valley, in Tenasket, it stays the same. It is stable. It is one layer that is the town. And that stabilizing effect goes outward X number of kilometers from the concentration of people. When you head outward into places that don't have that observation effect making it stable, effectively, you are entering into, well, the better way to put this is, maybe, reality has a playlist of all of the spaces that are in an area. And when you walk into an area that is non-stabilized, reality plays through that, goes through the shuffle on the playlist and sees what sort of area you're going into. You have about 1,500 feet out from you the observation effect of intelligence, where you are stable. The geography around you is stable. When you walk forward, it is stabilizing the area ahead of you, but it uses where you are as a general outline for where you are going into. So even though there is an infinite amount of possibilities on the playlist, it's not actually going to have every option be available. If you're walking through a forest, you're not going to pass out of that 1,500 foot stabilized area and enter into like an ocean. No, it's going to be roughly based on where you are and what you are seeing. Now you can influence that by walking towards certain geographical features, but it's not just going to be random. And because of that, there is a minor persistence to stabilization if you are out in the wilderness, because you are effectively generating by wandering through areas and having that playlist where it shuffles through. That becomes semi-stable layer around you, and there's a persistence of a couple hours. So you travel and you can go back if you still enter into that persistence area. Past that, it all fades in its new territory. What this means is, if you are a person that is on a houseboat and you are on a river and you travel 500 kilometers downriver, and then when you hit that 500 kilometer mark, you stop. During that time, you've gone through wondrous areas. You've met beautiful people, passed through incredible towns and villages that are along this river. And then when you get to the 500 kilometer mark, you turn around. That persistence effect of the layer around you is gone. When you head upriver, it's going to be a different river than the one you came down. There's going to be different people, different landscapes. You might have come through a desert, you turn around and you're going back up through a much more hilly jungle area. The people you come across will all be different, and when you travel 500 miles upriver, you turn around and you head down a different river. You can spend eternity traveling one river, and it's never the same river. So that's kind of cool, I think. Now, if you just travel with glamours, of course, you're being nudged and boinked through various layers just to get to where you're going. There's no temporary layer generated around you. You're just using the glamours to travel. Now, the stabilization effect that is going to happen as a result of the King in Crimson's rollout of the mobile technology that brings people into the observation field network, so that each person does not just have their individual observation effect with a whole bunch of other people in an area. They suddenly become a part of the network that, when it's rolled into the outside, each person is observing with the power of 122 million people. The effect is so great that instead of just stabilizing for a small area around towns of a couple kilometers before the first rollout, to like 10 kilometers after the first rollout, to when they bring in 100 million extra people from the outside, that stabilization effect goes for a good 100 and some kilometers out from large concentrations of people. And each person is observing with the power of 100 million people. So the observation effect and the stabilizing really happens hard when they do the rollout on the Razor's Edge. And for the first time, somebody in, say, Tall Ned can actually walk without the use of glamours from Tall Ned over to Ash Pine's Bluff. Now, you can use the glamours if you wish, but if you never used a glamour, you could safely walk there, and the path would always be the same. And that's really strange for the people of the Razor's Edge, but boy, do they like it when that rollout occurs. So it's a good thing. But if you do head out, there's eternal adventure. And this, of course, is why it is also an eternal, untamable frontier. You may have the stabilizing effect of just your playlist getting shuffled down to that layer that you're on with the observation effect, but all those other layers are still there, and they can still manage to enter yours. It's an eternal, untamable frontier. There's just too much there. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank, well, however many people have left me comments. As long as it's more than 0, that is thoroughly awesome. Thank you all so very much. I read every single comment. I thumbs up each one I do. I answer as many as my executive dysfunction will allow. Thank you so very much. And if I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, well, yes, you've seen my memory work. So let me call my Chrome, and we have Confused Owl 29. Yup, survival is the point. Amagaratsu. If it weren't for Amagaratsu and all of her children, there would be no Razor's Edge. Thumbs up. And then we have Me Too 345. Thumbs up. There is CERRY. Thumbs up and thank you. There is Nate. Greatly appreciated. And MOSI QESHMI. Thumbs up and thank you much. I just did not want to try and pronounce that. I could not possibly do it justice. There is Ben B. Thumbs up and thank you. And that is it. 6 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. It is greatly appreciated for a very short period of time and only in text. You get me out of my head and dealing with other people, and that is appreciated. Hey, what do you say? Of course, I don't know what device you're watching this on, so I don't know if you even can access the show more, but if you can, inside of wherever it is, there are links to my Twitter, Facebook, my Patreon, and again, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons, these literal, beautiful, and awesome people that keep my pets alive and me as well. Oh boy, last month I was really hurting, and these people helped to keep me alive. Thank you so much. Each and every one of you. Yay! Definitely a good thing. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, I do have a link to a PayPal in the show more. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money, I do have an Amazon wishlist link with stuff like cat food. Definitely a cool thing if you could check that out. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot or you do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you can toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. A definite thumbs up. And of course, if you can hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very cool. Thank you. Definitely a thumbs up. Yeah, I haven't changed this, nor have I worked on my bookcases yet. I'm hoping to press through the executive dysfunction and get that done today, because of course I'm also playing Dead Island nearly obsessively. Thumbs up. And of course, I'm not pointing at that, even though I'm pointing at that. What I meant is, with the Covfefe bug raging, please, if you don't have to go out amongst the unmasked, unvaxxed, mouth-breathing plague rats, please don't. If you do, wear a mask, maintain your social distancing, wash your hands often, try not to touch your face. Get vaxxed if you haven't been, get a booster if you can. Oh boy. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And quite frankly, I think that's a very good thing.